From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and his wonderful friends. We got a good one here tonight. We're talking about beyond the surface. We're going to be talking about the superficial world of color struck. Let's be honest and fair, man. Preferences, that's fair. Preferences is fair. But we have to start questioning things when we're totally looking upon color. We're totally looking for color, meaning a shade, especially in the Black community. So I see the ladies running up a little late here. So we'll run a commercial. We'll be right back, folks.
Somebody gon' get to tell them that I'm coming. And you can tell them that I'm coming. Tell them that I'm somebody tell the world that I'm coming. I'm trying to tell the world that I'm coming. You tell them that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming.
Welcome back to Conversations with Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're online and want to be a part of tonight's topic, you can do that by dialing 347-324-5327. Press the number 1 to get into the queue so that your voice can be added to tonight's conversation. Now, let's get back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, Shannon Banana?
Not much. How are you doing this evening?
I am good. Looks like I'm going to be in trouble here tonight because looks like Coach Dee's running late. You know when Shannon's here. Oh, Coach Dee, here it is. My prayers have been answered. That's a ring ring. Coach Dee.
Sir, if you can't go to the show without me, then you need to start praying about something else.
Now you're starting early.
Well, I had a coaching. You know, money comes first. Unless you start paying me.
Thank you, Coach Dee.
We starting this. Hey, listen. What did I tell you guys last week? Or the week before last? Come on.
Nothing of any importance.
Just knock it off. I'm glad we're talking about color struck, as we say in New Orleans, red women.
Red
women.
Let me red women. Okay.
Red women. It would be a light brights to be talking about financial situations and stuff like that.
All right, as I like to call it, slavery trauma.
The superficial world of color struck. Let's be fair, right? Let's be fair. Preferences are valid. I'll admit to that. When we start talking about, I gotta have that red bone, I gotta have that light skin, I gotta have this, come on. It's a little superficial there for me.
Like that must be men, because I've never heard a woman say that.
Are you serious?
I've never heard women say I gotta have that light skin or that red. Like I've never heard another female say that. I mean, that's just me, but I'm just saying.
I gotta be transparent. In my earlier years, that's all I dated. Light brights. It turned out to be the devils, but
God.
I'm joking. But I mean, that's really superficial, man. I used to be a part of that world. Like that's all I wanted. That's all I
It's
wanted.
not superficial though.
Sure.
It's
Go
not.
ahead.
It's not. It's way, way, way deeper than
I know
superficiality.
we're gonna talk about the colorism. We're gonna talk about the origin of colorism and everything. I get it. I totally get it. But from what I was looking at it as far as back in the day, that was very superficial. It really was.
Yeah, but we all know back in the day, your ego was your ego, and everything was superficial.
Well, Gentle Giant is here this evening, and he came in hot and heavy. He said, "Excuse me, Coach Dee and Shannon, I'm done with red women." Okay.
Well, can we not use that term, please?
That's the way they talk in New Orleans, red women. That's the way they way they talk. That's how we actually talk about light-skinned women. That's how we talk about red women. You guys, if you lived in New Orleans, you guys would be considered red women.
I mean, I know I've been called that before, and that's insulting.
It's not
an insult. It is.
How is it an insult?
Because when you know the origins of where it comes from, it's an insult.
We'll dig in that. We'll dig into it.
Y'all talk with superficiality. I hear Redbone. I hear slavery, white massa, rape. It's a whole bunch of stuff goes on there.
We're gonna dig into it. Let's get a little messy real quick. Let's stir this gumbo pot real quick. But that's the thing with New Orleans. They say, and I'm very familiar with the brown paper test and the brown bag and all that other stuff. I get it. I totally get it. We're gonna talk about the origins. We're gonna talk about the origin, where it originated, and whatnot. But go ahead, Shannon. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I want to hear about the origins. This is going to be very educational for me with Coach Dee on here tonight. So I want to hear about the origins. I don't understand. I've always been lost on the whole red thing. I don't consider myself to be light complected or light skinned or red bone or anything like that. So this is going to be very interesting this evening. Right. But might I ask, where did this topic come from? Like, where did we get this topic from tonight?
From the one and only Slash,
who is not here. Interesting.
From the one and only Slash.
So, all right.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows a thing or two about light skin and preferences on that.
You keep saying that, and it doesn't come across as a nice thing. Like, I don't know, man. No.
What are you taking?
Because you and I have had this discussion many, many, many a moon ago. And we're going to argue again today because you still haven't come around.
What are you talking about? I don't even date light-skinned women anymore.
You used to.
I used to. Yeah, I used to.
Yes, and we talked about the whole usage of the term red bone and everything, regardless if it's used in New Orleans or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dee and I have a little history, and she knows where all the bodies are buried, so I do apologize early.
So, I got an email last night, and they're like, you know what? I've always wondered how the two of you managed to date at all, because you're always disagreeing. I'm like, because some of us have grown in our old age.
Was that a shot? Did I just catch a stray bullet?
If you want to strap those shoes on, sir, go ahead and strap the shoes on.
Did I just catch a stray bullet? What did I?
So
let's talk about
it. I think so. You better duck.
Are you giving us a history lesson or what?
Well,
I'm very firm. This whole colorism thing is a lot of people don't realize how deep it is, and
it's very deep. It's very deep, right? Let's talk about the Europeans and the Project Jordan in 1968 on a plantation life for enslaved African Americans. Okay, it started like in 1968. Slightly started in 1968 when it started colorizing and whatnot and all that good stuff. But in my opinion, in my opinion, as far as the colorism, that's how it came pretty hot. But we know it was in slavery.
I'm about to sit back here for us. Just go ahead, carry on. Let me just sit back.
We knew it was in slavery, but I don't want to talk about slavery stuff. Come on.
Well, you can't have the conversation. You don't want to talk about slavery because it didn't start in 1968.
Right.
What Go ahead, Do you talk about the slavery part? I'll assist.
Let's get back. Let's go back to bare bones. In slavery, the lighter you are, the more money you were worth, right? Because the lighter you are, the closer to white you are. So you're worth more money. So if you're worth more money, that you work in the house. If you're worth more money, your babies were worth more money, right?
Everybody.
That's why women were raped constantly, because lighter skinned babies made more money. So colorism, we're talking hundreds of years ago, not 1968.
I get it. But I was trying to avoid the.
You can't have a conversation and avoid what's before it.
Why were you trying to avoid it though?
I really don't want to talk about it. So I want to talk about why, as African Americans, why do we still have that stigma? Why do we still walk that path? Or if she's light, she's white, she's right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's dark, she's wrong. She got to be dumb if she's dark.
Yeah, because white adjacency is a hell of a
really
drug.
talk like this. Black guys really talk like that. They really think like that. Some guys think like that.
Yeah, because society beats it into them. So let's look at who you see as the movie stars, who you see in the magazines. You didn't see a darkened skin model until probably the last decade.
Yeah, like when
Iman was like one of a kind. Her and Naomi Campbell, they were not the regular models. Some designers would even dress them. Right?
So that's what I want to hover around that, right? When we think, why do we think? I know why, but in y'all opinion, why do we think that light skin is always the right way to go? Well, you guys are light complected. You're very intelligent. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, it is.
No, I'm not.
Shannon,
I am brown.
I've seen you in real life, Shannon.
I know. I've seen me. I'm looking at me in real life too. I am very brown, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not that brown. Shannon. I've seen you without makeup.
I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, here. So here's the thing. When you have lighter skin, or you have lighter skin with long hair, you're deemed more acceptable. So, and you are sometimes granted your femininity. Black women are not granted their femininity, right? Look at Serena Williams, stunning, gorgeous. Ugh, I'd kill for those legs, right? But people call her masculine. They call Michelle Obama Michael. They say she's a guy. That woman's gorgeous.
Wow. And most of the time, those type of comments are coming from Europeans. Let's be honest.
No, listen. I don't know what black men you're talking to, but plenty of black men in the comments and stuff like that.
I don't know a black man said Michelle looks like a man. Michelle, fine as hell. Still.
Plenty of them do. Plenty of them. But here's the thing. Serena Williams has gotten it since she was a kid. The darker a woman is, the less feminine society deems her. Right? And that goes all the way back to slavery. Because the field workers were darker, right? And when you're looking at, if in historical context, even when we're looking at the civil rights era, the first person to sit on the bus was not an acceptable vision for American society because she was an unwed mother. So Rosa Parks was put into her place, right?
True.
Right? Would Malcolm X or Dr. Martin Luther King been listened to much if they were a darker man? No.
Probably not.
Because they're more palatable to white society when you're lighter. Because when you're lighter, they deem you closer to them. Because the features are more European. Right? And I've told you lots of times, white adjacency is a drug. Right? Lots of times. And then when you're lighter, you get light skin privilege. So we still get the racism, but it's a different type of racism. Like we don't get the same racism that darker skinned people do. And if you're biracial and you have a white mother, don't even say a thing, because you're a whole different problem. Because the white supremacy is ingrained. Like, here's the problem within the biracial community. So you have biracial people who are raised by Black women and biracial people raised by white women, right? Biracial people raised by Black women do not have the same do not do the microaggressions, the white supremacy, all those things. The whole, well, I can be both. And like, I identify, was I identify as Asian? Something like that. Because they have to identify both, where you just can't say you're Black. Right? I have friends who have biracial children, and they're like, oh, well, I want them to embrace both of them. I'm like, listen, my mother's Irish. I'm more Irish than I am Black, but you think anybody's going to go, oh, yeah, that's the Irish girl? No.
Not
that ain't happening. Even with the red hair, that ain't happening. Right? So society is very precise on how they label us. And it goes back to slavery and the one drop law, right? And they had all kinds like octoroon, quadroon, all kinds of nonsense to put you into a bracket on how much whiteness you had.
But let's go back to the root of the topic here.
Oh, Mark joined the conversation. He said, "Slow down, Coach Dee."
What up, Slash?
Think faster, sir.
Be nice.
Listen, you know I talk a lot faster than this. I slow it down.
She said, "Think faster." Okay.
Yeah. So let's hover around the base of the topic here, right? And when I was writing this thing up, as Slash sent it in to me, I was like, this is interesting. I know a lot of people here in Louisiana who still think that way.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you talk about the Lafayette area, going toward the Monroe area and all that stuff. You get all these Cajun women out that way and whatnot. These light brights. They really think
country, not just Louisiana.
Well, it's really bad in Louisiana. They really think that they're better than a dark complected woman. They really think that way. And honestly, I'm going to be honest and fair about this. Black men here give them that card to carry, where they place these women on a pedestal, and and whatnot. But Black men here do that. They really do that. I thought about it after Slash texted to me. I was like, wow.
Why is
Black
that?
men here, because they just do. They think it's, to me personally, in my opinion, I might get in trouble for this, but they still have a slave type mentality here in the South. They still think that it's still in them. Honestly, it's still in some of them. I have some friends who think that way. Oh man, she light skinned. She got to be better. Not really. I've dated a few of them. Not really. Not really. So let's get down to the real problem with that. D, let's talk about why. Let's talk about why they have that mentality, why they still carry that.
I don't know. I'm not from Louisiana, so I don't know why they carry that down there. Because it's not the same everywhere. Like that's a huge generalization, right? And that's the problem, because a lot of people think that because somebody's lighter skin, they have a chip on their shoulder that they're better than other people. But I found here in the U.S., that's very localized to different areas. Yeah. That it's not everyone. Because if you are biracial, raised by a Black mama, you don't think that way. Especially if your Black mama's dark.
Let's keep it 100. I spent a ton of time in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is exactly like that.
Los Angeles is all about image, sir.
Superficial.
It's all about image.
Al has a comment he wants to.
He just said that's so true, Mr. Epic.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The color of your skin, like, what was it Tupac said? The darker the berry, the deeper the roots.
Yep.
Right? And Yeah, there are days when I was in university that I prayed that I would be darker, because it's an identity. At some point, it's an identity, because then how black am I, right? But like, I'm blackety black. I don't care what anybody says, no matter how light I am. It's all about who you are and how you identify within your blackness.
Right.
And unfortunately, there are some folks who are raised, and I'll be very honest, they're raised by white women who identify more with their whiteness than their blackness, who have a lot of self-hate.
There we go.
A lot of self-hate.
I think we talked about that last year sometime.
Probably. Because it all goes hand in hand. Right? Because I remember a gentleman once, he goes, you prefer darker skinned men. I said, I like my chocolate in all colors. Right? Because chocolate comes in a mocha, it comes in a caramel, it comes in a cafe au lait,
Interesting.
And see, I'm the opposite. So I don't find light-skinned black men attractive. They need to have some brownness, and actually the dark, yeah, I don't know what but
they can't pass. I can't
I don't know what it is. Like, if they look like my mama and my granddad and all the people in my family, it's not attractive to me. But I don't have a problem, crossing over and dating outside my race if there's,
ladies and gentlemen, Shannon will not discriminate when it comes down to white chocolate.
Yeah,
Shannon,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Isn't that
I like the guy on Lupin who plays Lupin, and Idris Elba and Shamar Moore. I like them all. I don't care.
Yeah.
So you're admitting here on the podcast,
He got a little tan to him.
Shannon, so you're admitting here on the podcast that you will date on the other side?
I've always said that. I've never discriminated.
What's wrong with that?
I've dated outside of my race.
I didn't say a word.
Me too.
Interesting.
Why is that interesting?
I just said it's interesting. It's fun.
Well, have you not dabbled on the other side? Remember, we know you in real life.
Stop. Let's just say I wouldn't date him.
So here's an interesting thing.
Interesting.
The only men that have a problem with black women having a soft life are black men. Like, if you tell black men that you have somebody who comes to clean your house twice a week, or you have a cook or anything like that, they get upset. Because, listen, I always speak in generalities. Anybody who's watched the show knows it's always in generalities every time, right?
I'm just stirring the pot.
But that's why I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, why do people hate Meghan Markle so much? I'm like, because one, she lives a soft life, and her prince gave up a country for her, and they can't even get a text back.
So you're saying black men don't like women who has a soft life? That's what you're saying?
Not in general. I find that there's a lot of online. There's a lot of comments about it.
But now I have found that she is one of the biracial individuals who, I think her mother is white. So she
was black.
No, I thought it was her. Oh, her mother is black.
No, her mother's black. Yeah.
Yes, her mother's black. Her father was white. But I think I can't remember what documentary I was watching, but it just feels I came away from it with the thing that she just had. I don't know, and it was a little bit of unrelatability as far as her experience as being a black woman, because even though she's biracial, and I'll just say historically, we look and we say, even if they are biracial, we claim, where'd he go?
I don't know. The universe kicked him out. God said, you're not talking anymore.
I feel like we claim them as even when you have biracial individuals, we still claim them as being black. Lord is going on. Now see,
just ignore him.
He has the nerve. He'll talk about us.
Yeah.
Messing up some stuff with the technical stuff.
But I think the problem with with people not being able to relate to her is because she's a black woman with privilege. There's a lot of financial privilege that she had growing up, so that becomes hard for other people to relate to.
That could be it.
because I watched her little cooking. I was watching her cooking show today while I was learning because her recession's coming up, so I'm learning how to do my own nails. And so I was watching her show while I was doing that, and I was like, you know what? She seemed very normal and down to earth. Like, I'm cool. I thought it was a good show.
I haven't. I mean, I haven't saved to watch, but I've heard different. You know, I've heard different things about it on social media, and I think it has to do with exactly what you just mentioned before about people not wanting Black women to have a soft life. Well, because they don't expect us to. And well, I will say our men more so.
There was a law put in place after World War II because Black women were no longer doing washing for white women. And they made a law that Black women couldn't be stay-at-home wives. They had to work.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I'll look up what state that was.
That's got to be something new that Black men don't like Black women have a soft life.
I mean, well, you are always asking us what we bring to the table. So that doesn't signify a soft life.
I'm going to make a point here. There must be these new niggas. Because my grandmother had a soft life. My mother had a soft life.
No, she didn't.
We're not going there.
No. Because soft life is very, very specific. A soft life means you do not cook. You do not clean. You have household help. So don't be rolling your eyes and doing anything.
Okay. As far as the cook, come on, you got to cook something. Come on.
If you have a soft life, you're not cooking, sir. You have a chef.
Yeah, okay.
He be forgetting people know him in real life on this show.
You get what I'm saying. Oh, come on now. Come on.
This is why we still argue about this, because you refuse to acknowledge that a soft life means you have household help. There are Black people of privilege who have household help. That is a soft life, sir. That is a lady of luxury. Yeah. That is a lady who brunches.
Well, ladies who brunch do not cook. I guess Teresa had a soft life because she didn't cook shit.
Well, then there.
She didn't clean the house. Didn't do any of that. Yeah, that's somebody clean the house.
Did she work? Well, do women who have soft lives have to work?
She definitely worked.
No. But Dee, do women? Well, I'm asking Coach Dee. No. So, do you have to work if you have a soft?
No, because they're a lady of the house. They don't work.
Okay, so she wasn't a lady.
So, what are you actually doing with this soft life then? If you're not cooking, you're not cleaning, you're not doing any of these things.
And now we see the anger because they're doing charity work and they're raising children.
That's not anger. That's not anger. It sounds like laziness to me. It sounds like laziness to me.
How is it laziness? White women were doing it all over the world for millennia.
So y'all want to be like them snow bunnies?
I want a soft cat. Why can't I have a soft life?
What do you want to be like a snow bunny? See now you're just wrong. Because there's nothing wrong with having a life of privilege. If you have worked your ass off, then you should be able to enjoy that. But because you're Black, you can't. Is wrong.
What did you do? Let's just say, what did you do to get this off? Like,
maybe they run a tech company. I know people who make 7 figures who can retire and have a soft life. What is wrong with that?
Okay, yeah.
Are you questioning Bill Gates' wife why she had a soft life, or Bezos' wife, or friggin' the first lady?
Bill Gates divorced. She got a softer life now. She do.
Anyhow.
She do.
Yeah. Oh, that should be on my vision board. Soft life, having a soft life. I need to put that on my vision board.
Dee, you're creating monsters.
How am I creating monsters by making people want to?
Because that's not a reality. That is not a reality.
People? See, you are one of those people who criticize Meghan Markle's show, talking about it's not a reality. It is a reality for some people.
Yeah. People don't like Black people with money. That's why people didn't like Obama. He's wealthy and educated, and it has a family that love him and support him.
Yeah, okay.
It drives people crazy because we're not supposed to be like that.
Let's not try and turn this around, please.
That's the thing. That's what all the colorism is about. Colorism is supposed to keep darker Black people in their place because they uplift lighter skinned people.
So Trent, you tell us. I mean, you're asking all the questions of why do they do this? Why do they think that? Why did you only date or deal with more fair skinned Black women?
Because I had a superficial mindset.
So what was it specific? What was what was this? What was it specifically, or the driving force that made you feel that that was better?
I love the way they look. Not until my later years, I'd say like in my late 20s, early 30s, Black women became very exotic to me, very appealing, extremely appealing.
Exotic,
like meaning, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm talking about very nice looking. That's the way I looked upon them. But when I was younger, running around the country, living out in California, I always thought that the lighter skinned women was more appealing. Boy, was I ever wrong. Boy, was I ever wrong. Because a lot of those light skinned women come with problems, head problems at that. In my personal opinion, in my personal experience. Light skinned women come with some serious head problems.
You sure you didn't bring that to them?
Probably so. Some of it.
I'm just
Probably so. Probably so. I don't, I don't pretend to be an angel here. So hey.
Mark said, which 9-to-5 sisters are living the soft life? Which I've heard is living in their femininity.
Dee, you want to answer that? Shannon, you want to answer that?
You're not living a soft
any
life.
9-to-5. Yeah, I don't know any 9-to-5 women that are living, because I mean that's the total opposite of what we just said the soft life is, right?
Yeah,
you didn't have to be doing a 9-to-5.
The soft life, interesting. Dee's been
why
talking.
Why y'all have why? There are Black women. There's a Black woman on Instagram. I'm trying to remember her name. I think it's Paula. She lives in a country house in England, and she shows all her stuff, her picnics and everything that she does. And she gets so much hate because people hate seeing a Black woman with a soft life.
But we're okay with Martha Stewart doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it if you've earned that. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't.
What makes you say she hasn't earned it?
I'm not saying, hey, if she earned it, she earned it. That's fine.
Well, wait a minute. But what if she married a very wealthy man or whatever who wanted her to have a soft life? Like, why is that a problem?
Well, congratulations to her. I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all.
But you just said they had to have earned it.
Let's be honest and fair, right? Let's be honest and fair. So the soft life, from what you're saying, your definition of it, right? Cook, maids, all this other stuff, right? That's cool. That's totally fine. Totally fine. But let's get down to reality. The majority of us and the people that are viewing this podcast, they'll never have a soft life. Come on.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say that everybody will have a soft life. I just gave you a definition of what it is.
Sounds like a Disney princess to me. Just my
Sounds
opinion.
like a what?
Disney princess.
I can name at least 8 people that I know off the top of my head that live a soft life right now, that are all Black.
Okay.
Some of them.
Well, you could be black and Disney princess at the same time. You could be blackity black. And they're
generational wealth. There are Black people with generational wealth who live in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Right? Who live in
I know a Black family in Palos Verdes that's living a soft life. They happen to be Black. Entire family.
Mark said, Mr. Epic, he synced that Redbone video. I don't know what that means, but okay. I don't know. Whatever. but here's the thing. It's all about the patriarchy and hierarchy, right? So hierarchy is color as well, right? Yeah. Even when you look at white women, a white woman with blonde hair, blue eyes is higher on the hierarchy than, say, a redhead who's at the bottom. And then you have your various shades of brunette in the middle, right? Everything's a hierarchy. And it's all about the patriarchy and how they value it. Yeah. That's why the patriarchy needs to be demolished.
Let me answer. Let me respond.
Men are followers, not leaders.
Let me respond to Slash's comment. He's talking about the video we shot out in Los Angeles where I chose a light-skinned woman. The other women in the videos were dark-skinned. Everyone that I chose was on the lighter side. And actually, my love interest in the video was flown in. That's how superficial I was. She was light-skinned and she was pretty back then. But as I look at that video in my older years, I'm like, damn, there's some black, pretty fine women in this video that Mike and Lewis picked. Why did I pick them?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mark said Meghan Markle is a princess. She even works on Suits.
Oh. No comment. Y'all not commenting?
I mean, she really lucked up for and got her. She got the
What?
Taj Mahal of the soft life,
Mm.
and I'm not mad at her.
Yeah, Megan. Oh,
But they're not living royal anymore. I mean, come on.
he is born a prince. He will die a prince, no matter what anybody says. But here's the thing.
I don't acknowledge those princes and folks over there in Europe like that.
You don't have to acknowledge whatever it is.
I mean,
it is what it is.
It's like it doesn't matter. That's what they go by.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The British tabloids still make a fortune off her. Like, I glanced at one today. They were writing articles about her, about stuff that happened 6 years ago. Like, the woman's not even in the country and they're making money off her. Right?
Yeah.
So
I guarantee most of it's talking about race, right?
It's written in code. Like, when she was pregnant and holding her belly, there was something wrong. But when Kate did it was very matronly.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to read it, and you need to have a memory to know what people have said before. People have very short memories now.
Exactly.
It's a problem. But you know what? It's even if you don't have, like, the soft life is a goal for some people, right? But here's the thing: even if you don't have the soft life, the society deems those lighter to be better because they're closer to white. And the closer to white you are, the better you are. Right? That's why when you look at all the magazines, they're usually very, very light-skinned. Because it goes all the way back to slavery. Because you're worth more. Right? Because whiteness is the goal. Right? Remember, even it was the Church of Mormons, when black people die, they become white? Isn't it something like that?
Oh,
I never heard that.
I neither.
There's something. I have to look it up. I will look it up shortly. Give me a break.
I think Mark was commenting on your not acknowledging the royal family of Europe.
What did he say?
Basically, he said he's as much of a prince as Prince Marky D.
Exactly.
But yet he is. But yet he is.
But here's the thing: his passport says Prince of England, no matter what anybody says.
Yeah,
Right?
I get it, but I mean, if we really want to go and tell the truth about who was kings and princesses and all that stuff in that country before they even came along, if we really want to go there.
Well, they're actually German, so whatever. But
thank you.
That's neither here or there. There's a whole different history lesson that's not taught in the U.S.
I appreciate it. And here's the thing: it's exact. That's the point I'm getting to. It's not taught here about who they truly are. But we're gonna leave that alone for another topic. But go ahead.
I'm told you I'm looking it up.
What are you laughing at, Shann?
I'm just enjoying my Sunday.
Is that right? I don't see any adult juice there. Do you have any adult juice going on?
Oh yeah, right here.
Isn't that something?
Actually, it's just ginger. Actually, this is actually deceptive. It's just ginger ale tonight.
I tell you, that last podcast, man, was a wowzer.
Really?
Yeah. It was a wowzer.
Yeah, I didn't go back to watch. I didn't watch it. I mean, I haven't gone back to watch it, but I did see some of the clips you picked.
Yeah, here we go. Had to go from the Book of Mormon. It says that the Lord denieth none that come unto him, black and white, bond and free, male and female, that he remembereth the heathen, they're all unlike in God. And early church leaders taught that after death and resurrection, everybody in the celestial kingdom, the highest tier of heaven, would be white in eternity. And they often equated whiteness with righteousness and taught that God made his children white in his own image.
Whoa.
That is definitely not in the Ethiopian Bible, I tell you that much.
You said that's a Mormon book?
She said, no, I'm about to say, she said it's the Book of Mormon, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it was,
I've
remember,
never-
it was only until recently that you could become a higher, like, I don't know what their terms are in the temple in Mormons if you were Black. We'll have to get one of our Mormon folks to give us some information on that.
I got to be honest with you, and this shows my ignorance here. I've never seen a Black Mormon. Never.
There's some.
Yeah, I haven't either.
They're around.
Yeah,
I know, because when I lived in Columbia, Maryland, we had Mormon missionaries come to the door. Boy, I'm like, really? You're Mormon, but you're not allowed in the sanctuary? They're like, oh no, we're allowed now. I'm like, oh, that's nice. You're still gonna be white after you die? They're like, they just looked at me.
Dee gonna get us straight up canceled.
You about to get us canceled using racial slurs, sir. I was like,
what racial slur did I say?
Not you, him earlier when he used the N-word.
Oh yeah, I don't use that.
I was like, oh my God, did he just say that?
Listen, but here's the thing: everything always goes back to patriarchy and hierarchy, and everybody has to be slotted into a specific box in order to fit. Right. But here's the thing: but the empire is slowly falling apart. They cut off the credit cards for the poor canines, the TSA canines. So in 30 days, they won't have money for better food. So people will get more upset about that than they will about school lunches getting cut.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah, because getting this guy elected was in the name of racism.
Mark has a comment there, sir. He says, "Are we receiving religious texts from Princess Coach Dee? And how many wives would these white Mormons, another made-up religion, receive?"
I have no idea. But remember, Mark, I do have a biblical studies degree. So
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah. Just because I believe that it's a sham, because the more you learn about religion, the more you realize that it's just doctrine, and y'all are arguing about the same guy. Like, if you're Pentecostal, if you're Baptist, if you're Catholic, if you're Muslim, it's all the God of Abraham. It's the same guy, same dude. So, everybody fights over religion, when most of the time religion's all about the same guy in different denominations and doctrine. That's it.
Quite interesting.
Because men are very emotional and they must have fights and wars and stuff like that.
Yet we don't think widespreadly about men being emotional. They always say that women are the emotional ones.
Gentlemen, I apologize.
And men are the more logical.
I was just talking to somebody about that. He goes, well, why are women so emotional at that time of the month? I'm like, oh, it's because of the increase in testosterone. The time of the month is when we act more like men.
Gentlemen, let me be the first one to apologize for these stray bullets that these ladies are throwing at you guys and you catching them.
Apologize for what?
I apologize for the platform, because I totally apologize.
Don't apologize for me, because I'm not apologetic at all. I'm not apologetic. It's true. Society has made it so that men can only express emotion of anger and happiness, and that's it.
Oh,
right?
That's so true. Yes.
Now,
do I come off as angry? Do I come off as angry?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Like right now?
I just told you, like, not 5 minutes ago, stop being angry. Like,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not angry. Oh my God. I'm extremely happy. Extremely happy.
I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna eat my spare ribs and be quiet and let you finish.
I wouldn't. Okay, so I want to. This just came to me when Dee was looking. Oh, hold on. Let me do this comment first. So Mark said, so in our friend groups, in your friend circle, does complexion play a part? And Coach Dee said, I was an usher. He said, I was an usher being called to the altar collecting offerings, etc. In my friend groups, no, I wouldn't say complexion play. At least for me, it doesn't. Complexion doesn't play a part. We have a rainbow of folks in my friend group as far or shades of blackness, I will say.
Yeah, I actually had to think about it because I just have friends. Yeah, complexion doesn't matter.
So you said early in the show that wouldn't be a tad bit superficial as far as, I mean, preference, yeah, okay, it's valid, but you wouldn't say that's some type of slightly superficial thinking when you just want.
Any preference that is solely based on looks is always superficial. Because what happens if they develop vitiligo? What happens if they're in a car accident and they're paralyzed? They're no longer 6'4", then now they're in a wheelchair.
Exactly.
There's all kinds of things that can happen to people. What if somebody loses their sight, right? And all of a sudden, those baby blue eyes that you've been cherishing are now covered in white. Yeah. Right? If any of your preferences are superficial, then you need to redo your preference list because you're not thinking of the stuff that really matters about who the person really is.
And that goes back to my earlier days. I had nothing on my mind but getting in the skins when I thought about the light-skinned women. And like I said in the opening of the podcast, that's very superficial for me, for me to be doing that. But that was on my mind. That was the only thing that was on my mind. Hitting and splitting. That was it. That was totally it. So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Did you guys, what's wrong? Did I say something out of the way?
No, you just left it hanging. There was no question or anything afterwards.
Yeah, I was like, was there a point or is that just a statement? Like,
it was a statement.
Okay.
It was a statement. It was a statement.
All right. To let us know that you were superficial.
Yeah, I said it earlier. So
okay.
Yeah,
So Mark said, even old Tyler Perry from Baton Rouge, In and Out of the Dress, creates programming based upon complexion.
Bingo.
It's complexion. You put completion, but it should be complexion, I'm assuming is what you mean, Mark.
Listen, he needs to find somebody who can do some wigs for first. But black exploitation films have always made money. Always made money. Any type of poverty trauma, gang trauma, bad relationships, that's the byline for most African American movies, and they always make money.
Yeah.
Right?
And let's be real, the backers of those movies are really Jewish men. Let's be real about it.
Yeah, I don't think so. We're not going to do that.
Yes,
no,
I think so.
We're not.
Because
we're not.
What happens
stop.
in California.
Lord, why do you do this? Why do you do this?
No, it's not true.
So you're saying that it's not financed by?
It's financed by a whole pile of people.
Okay. We're gonna be.
Yeah, because we're not going to be anti-Semitic. That's why.
So you're telling me that's
yes. It is. It's one of the oldest tropes in the book.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Lord, see,
you're
going to get canceled.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because when we talk about these companies, most of these companies are ran by Jewish men. I'm not saying anything negative toward them.
No. It's not true, though.
Okay. We'll leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. We'll leave it alone, because I feel I'm going to say something I have no business saying. So we're going to leave it alone.
Whoa, what? Like what?
You said something you had no business saying. It's the biggest stereotype that's going. That's like George Soros runs everybody and pays everybody in the Democratic Party. It's a stereotype. It's not a nice stereotype.
Well, I mean, have any of you guys ever been part of the entertainment business?
I know people who back movies that aren't Jewish.
I have.
I know people who back movies in Toronto who aren't Jewish. Lots of them.
That's Toronto.
White folks, black folks, Spanish folks.
We're talking about the States.
Where do you think they're filming movies, sir? They're filming movies in Toronto on a regular basis.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But we're talking about the States.
Listen, we're not going to say that in here because it's wrong. And no, it's not happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not.
I'm not getting calls from people for your nonsense.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not saying anything negative toward the Jewish community. I'm not. I'm just stating a fact that most people in those positions, as far as entertainment business, are Jewish. That's all I'm saying.
I love LA. We love it.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I don't have anything against.
I just don't know how we got stuck here. I don't know how we got stuck here.
I don't know. I said something I didn't have.
Oh, we got stuck here.
I don't know.
Mark said, I read a book based upon culture of the South. Dark-skinned black men married light-skinned white women.
What was the culture? What was the reasoning behind it in the book?
I don't know. I haven't read that book.
Mark, that's on you. Did they tell you what the reason was that they selected lighter-skinned women, or the light-skinned women selected the dark-skinned men?
Was it a self-hate? What was it? What's going on? Because I know in the South, if you could pass, that was a good thing. Because
I don't know. My mother was one of those women who selected dark-skinned men, and she was extremely fair. Hence her brown baby.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know some who did it so that their children would be darker. Right.
But on the inverse, my grandfather, who was one of those who could pass, married a very dark complected woman and was very shunned by his family. So, yeah. Interesting.
When I was writing this thing up, I knew I was going to get into some type of trouble when I was writing this thing up, and I started talking about colorisms and stuff like that. And I knew it was going to get on something.
What trouble did you get into?
Don't bring it back up.
I'm not going to bring it up. As I drink my coconut water.
I made spare ribs in the air fryer today. It was delicious.
I don't eat red meat anymore.
Oh my gosh. I made a filet mignon tonight, and it came out the perfect medium. I'm so proud of myself.
Y'all just eating dirty all around the place. Huh?
Sometimes you need that little bit of beef.
Protein.
Yeah.
I still get my protein, but I haven't eaten red meat in 5 years.
Good for you.
That's lovely. But my spare ribs are pork, they're not beef.
I don't do swine at all.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Sorry, Bessie. Because I met her. Picked her out from the farm.
Oh, I bet they're delicious too. If you met her and you got them fresh.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. So you got your lentil soup?
No comment.
Yeah.
I haven't had my lentil soup in it's been a minute.
Here's the thing. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
But people talk about they don't eat swine, but they'll eat lobster and shrimp, and crawfish. Crawfish are just cockroach of the ocean.
That would be you, sir. Yeah, you.
It was referencing old New Orleans. That was the attraction that was tried and true. Are y'all familiar with octoroon balls?
What? What the heck is that?
Isn't that the lighter skins would have the debutante balls that were similar to the white debutante balls? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, dang. Was I caught up in that? I was a debutante, and my mother was a debutante. Oh my God! And now when I look back, they were all light skinned in her pictures.
I mean, in my personal opinion, Shannon, you're almost white.
I am
That's just my personal opinion.
No, what?
Why would you say that?
Right.
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Well, you don't. There's some things you don't tease about.
Shannon, were you offended by that?
Yes.
Oh, come on, knock it off.
I
How many
was
times I
greatly
said that to you? How many times I said that to you in private?
I did have you?
Yeah, a ton of times.
Okay, I'm sure I was still offended even then, but now you know put it out here for thousands of people in different countries and everything. Why was it what?
I'm gonna blame it on spasms I'm having today. So.
Whatever.
I'm not 100% right now.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do a show if you're not 100% then, because you're just gonna get yourself canceled. And off along with you.
No, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
All right. So what is your takeaway from this from this tonight? Yeah. What we got?
I mean, it's the whole thing about. I think it's foolish if we're looking at people and by the texture of their skin. I think it's foolish. That's what I want. I just want this light bright. That's all I want. I think it's foolish. You got to go under the surface, man. I think it's totally foolish. And at this grown age, I know some people that still do that here in Louisiana. So honestly, that's my opinion. I think it's
well, most preferences are pretty not helpful to you anyway. So if your list is 6'4", was it 6'4" dark skinned man in finance or something like that, then anything that is who they are is not on the list. It should be on the list, right? Maybe the perfect guy might be 5'9", but you've overlooked him because he's not 6'4". Right. But he has communication skills. He has intelligence, authenticity, and transparency. He's romantic. He's comedic. All that stuff.
Right. Yeah, we did a podcast on.
I'm so sorry because he used to give me so much grief about that.
I was about to bring it up. We did a podcast. I think it was last year, a year and a half ago, on what's on your list. Yeah, Dee, you were here for that. Dee, you were here for that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. What's on your list? Isn't that interesting, Shannon?
Yeah. So Mark gave us the definition of the octoroon ball. He says it's where black mothers introduce their teenage daughters to well-to-do white men, often putting them up in these historically called Creole cottages, which still exist today. Wow, I never.
Bingo. When I mentioned Lafayette talking about Creole, Lafayette, Louisiana, that stuff still happens over there.
Yeah, that's where my dad's people are from, out there.
Is it? You don't say. So you're a little bit of Creole. Is that what you're saying?
Anyway, Shanna Bright, are you listening? What do you mean? He said best viewers on removed. What? What is that? I don't know what he. Oh, you got a troll in there. Am I listening to what, Mark? What am I supposed to be listening to? And why do you keep calling me Shanna Bright? Now I'm feeling.
Let's get back.
Now with this conversation, I'm starting to feel offended now with this Bright thing.
Let's get back to your dad being from Lafayette.
I said his people, like my grandmother. They were all from somewhere out there, and
I knew I saw a little Creole in you. I knew I saw that in you.
Anyway, Laffy Taffy. I don't know what Mark is talking about.
Look like we got a troll here. Let me get
yes, you do.
Can you delete it?
Yeah, I can do it. Let me do it real quick.
All right. It's 8:59.
All right, cool.
Round up this nonsense.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, some days it's like that for us. Some days I like the topic. Some days they don't like the topic. Hey, it's from a viewer, and I had to honor it. So we did say that we would honor topics that come in.
We did.
We need to start vetting these when they come in from your cheerleader in the comment section.
I think we need to have another politic one coming up soon with all the stuff that's going on.
We definitely should. We should do that next week. I think we should.
because they got a new travel ban coming in at the end of the month. They're putting folks with green cards are getting incarcerated in immigration holding.
Here's the thing, though, man. He's continuously losing in the courts, like these decisions. You know, they temporary decisions, and he's just kicking the can down the road. That's all they're doing.
The man has 34 felonies. He don't care about courts.
Exactly. What's the last say?
He said that's what many refer to the preferences you discussed as Laffy Taffy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I can say is just make sure you got your freedom papers on you if you get stopped. I'm just saying.
Especially, listen, my immigrant friends, I carry my passport with me. Make sure you got your documents, because you know, if you have an accent of any type, or you look like you might have an accent, make sure you got your documents. People don't believe me. I'm like, listen, you don't got your green card with you?
It's getting real.
You find yourself in immigration quick.
Yeah.
So
they ain't playing around anymore.
We'll touch on these shenanigans of this administration next week. Should be very enlightening.
All right. Well, yeah, it's 9:01, and you know, thank you. We've got a big week ahead. So love talking to y'all, but you ready to wrap it on up, sir?
Well, normally you guys close it out. I just push buttons over here. I work for y'all.
I got to finish packing, so.
Oh, that's right. You got a work week. Travel. Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, we really appreciate you guys. Go ahead.
I said it was a pleasure talking to you. I got to get the little man ready for school tomorrow.
Sounds good. So, guys, you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Taylor Kinney TV, at tayken.com. We truly appreciate all the support and the continued support for the subscription. So we really would prefer for you guys to subscribe to the Apple Podcast, and you can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is cool because that's the only place we'll do that live streaming on is YouTube or Twitch. We're no longer streaming into social sites as far as Meta is concerned. So if you want to catch us live, YouTube is the spot. If you want to catch the replays, subscribe to the GuMbO channel, Taylor Kinney channel right there on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Taylor Kinney TV. But the only live spots we'll be doing here is on YouTube or Twitch. What's so funny? What's going on?
Slash said President Apartheid Clyde is scooping up U.S. citizens, so a passport don't matter. Yeah, President Elon is running amok.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
I have to go.
I do too. Have a good night. See you
Bye,
guys
everyone.
next week. Bye.
You guys be epic.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.